Hi there, it is the beginning of the summer season and I am excited to share with you today what our plans are for the summer for our homeschool and for my kids. We don't have a lot going on. I'm going to keep it pretty simple this year because we worked really hard this year. So we're going to keep it pretty simple this summer, but let's get into it, what we're going to be doing this summer. Hello and welcome. I'm Ashley Weaver and I'm here at Joyful Noise Learning. I love to talk about Charlotte Mason inspired homeschool, as well as encourage you to find joy in Jesus and in your family. So I'm glad you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would love for you to consider subscribing. I would love for you to consider subscribing. Man, that is so hard to say, even after all these years. So anyway, if you don't know yet, I have 3 kids. They are currently 9, 12, and 14. And we're gonna be coming into summer. And just a little bit of background. I like to start with background. When they were younger, like first grade, second grade-ish, I loved homeschooling through the summer because it kept our routines and it really kept them off screens. Like we had something to do. So we did school like all year round. We would take breaks here and there. But now that my kids are older and I have a 14-year-old who might be getting a job, and I have a 12-year-old who has lots of interests and lots of friends, and he's got a robotics camp. We've got Vacation Bible School that we're helping with. And then my 9-year-old just tags along or whatnot. So now that they're older, they do enjoy a summer break and just time to be, off school. They really enjoy their free time. And we also love enjoying just, being together as a family, going to the beach, maybe taking camping trips this summer, as well as hanging out with friends that we don't always get to see throughout the school year. And we were really busy this last spring, so my goal is for us to slow down. So my word for this summer is gonna be slow. You know how you pick a word for the school year or the beginning of the year? I'm picking a word just for the summer and the word is slow because I've said yes to a lot of things. And so I'm trying to say no. I guess the other word for the summer would be no, because I want to keep it more open and not commit to too many things. So I'm only doing 1 Vacation Bible School this summer and we're doing, like I said, 1 robotics camp. And that's really about it. There's a book club too. So we'll start there. So for my kids, we're not going to be doing official school. We're taking a break, but they will be doing a book club. So my older 2 will be, my 12 and my 14-year-old will be in the older kids book club, and they're going to be reading Aragorn together. So they'll be doing that once a week. And I'm really excited for them to read this. My oldest daughter loves dragons and loves fantasy novels. And we'll see how my second son does. He will probably be okay, but he doesn't mind as long as he's doing it with friends. And what I'll probably have him do is he'll listen to the audiobook as well as reading, because this is probably it's like a smaller print and he hasn't read many books like this. So we're gonna see if we can just improve his reading skills by maybe listening and reading at the same time. My youngest, who's a 9-year-old, he will be doing the Harry Potter book club. And I think they're reading the first book of Harry Potter, which is fine with me. I don't know if we listened to the audiobook as a family a few years ago and then we never went beyond that, but he hasn't read it before and he may not remember it. So he's gonna do that book club at the local book club this summer. The other thing reading wise is they are required to read, it's at least an hour every day before they can have screen times. So it's a minimum of an hour. If they want more screen time, then they have to read more. So their reading is gonna have to match their screen time. So, and these are just for the days that we're at home and we're not out and about doing things, with hanging friends at the park or the beach or whatever. But yeah, if they're home, they have to read before they get screens. That's the goal for us this summer. Also for reading, we're doing the reading challenge, or what is it called? The summer reading program at the library. And my kids love doing that. So they keep track of the time and the minutes that they read for that. And they get to put in for prizes at the library. So we're gonna do that just like we do every summer. And at the library, they sometimes have some fun activities and events, but again, I'm trying to say no. We'll just be very picky with what we choose for that. But again, for more reading, I like to continue to read aloud to my kids over the summer. And I have 2 ideas what we'll do. So I did do a video recently about the read alouds that we did for homeschool this last school year, and The Wind in the Willows was on our list for our Gentle Feast curriculum, and we did not get to it. So we started reading it just a few weeks ago, and we're gonna keep reading it. And again, this is not gonna be a daily thing, and maybe not even a specific time, but like, oh, hey, we're all awake and we're all hanging out. Let's read The Wind in the Willows together. And I'll read for maybe 20, 30 minutes at a time. And this one's beautiful. I love the illustrations in here. They're really pretty. Oh, they're so stunning. So I'm excited for this one. And I've never read this book, so we'll definitely do that. The other option is for a family read aloud, and that is The Fiddler's Green. I talked about this one in my read aloud video as well. It is rated probably PG or PG-13 even, so I don't recommend it for little guys. But my kids have not finished reading it, so we're gonna try reading it and finishing this one as well. Okay, so that's a lot of reading. So reading we've got covered, and that's usually not a problem for our family. There's two more things that I really wanna do over the summer, and this will be, again, not like a everyday thing, but just when we're at home and you have nothing to do, let's do this. So we're all going to be working on our handwriting, our cursive handwriting this summer. And I noticed that we really needed help with this. And my kids have kind of been doing a little handwriting book just all throughout the year, but my boys kept saying, well, I don't know how to form the letters. Like, when they write in cursive, it looks really good, but they're like, we don't know how to do the capital letters. So I'm like, all right, I got some books from Memoria Press, and I'm really excited for these. So the boys will be doing the cursive practice sheets too. They're really simple, just copying and tracing and all the things. And then this one is for myself or my oldest, and it's a little bit smaller. And practicing cursive letters there. And then I bought Teach Yourself Cursive, and they said they recommended this for older kids, so it's probably gonna be for myself, my 14-year-old, and my 12-year-old, because my 9-year-old can just keep doing the copying and stuff. And his handwriting is actually pretty good. He has probably the better handwriting of all of us, but for my older kids, we needed some help. So this has just some practice sheets there. And then it shows you like how to form it. So that was really important. So it shows you like, okay, go down first. Okay, now do this line. Okay, now do this line. Because that was the thing that my kids didn't know. So we'll do this all together just for like 10 minutes, maybe after breakfast is my goal. Just kind of when we're sitting down at the table and practice our handwriting over the summer. The last thing that I want to focus on, so there's the reading book clubs, the handwriting, the read aloud, and then there's this. I'm really excited. Growing Up with God. This is a unit from Gathered Round Homeschool, and I printed off the packets for our student workbooks that's the word. Couldn't remember what these were called when I was trying to tell someone about it. The workbooks for each of the kids. It comes with 3 different levels. And when you're doing, puberty and growing up, you need to make sure you're giving the kids the right information at the right time. So my 9-year-old will be doing level 1, and he has his little workbook here. And his book, it talks a lot about just our wonderful bodies and how God created us. It talks about genders. It has the picture of the male anatomy. He won't learn the female anatomy yet. And then it goes into like hygiene and taking care of yourself, and like how often you should wash your hair, and then it talks about how their bodies change. So it's the what's coming for him, and him being 9, almost 10, I'm pretty sure it's around the corner in the next couple of years. So it's gonna talk about how his body changes. The other thing I like about this workbook here is the conversation starter. So at level 1, it's gonna have these things here like, hey, go talk to your mom and dad about how do they guard their tongue? What do they think are some examples of inappropriate or appropriate talk? Ooh, that's good. That's trying to help them not have, potty mouths or whatever. So anyway, so that's level 1. Level 2 is for my 12-year-old. So this one takes it up a notch. So it talks about, again, about gender and about how God made us. And then it has a place for like reflection here and asking questions. And then it talks about, male anatomy, and then it actually does go into the female anatomy, I think. So it talks about the hygiene, again, going into taking care of your armpits and your hair and all the places where you're growing hair. And then puberty explained, so all the changes that they're going through. And it talks about this chapter I'm really excited for, emotional regulation. I was like, oh, that's so good. So it's just talking about how to manage your emotions, identifying your emotions, testing your feelings, and then giving them tips, emotional toolbox, like things to do. Like, are you tired? Do you need to just go lay down? Or are you hungry? Do you need to go eat? Which is usually what I say as a mom. I'm like, oh, they're talking about getting good sleep, eating good food, and then like, oh, these are such good things. So anyway, it's gonna give them tips on how to regulate that. And then it does have a chapter on the birds and the bees, and it's, yeah, so we're gonna talk about that. Oh, and then the baby growing, but it starts from the beginning this time, so in level 2. And then for relationships, I think it talks about like protecting your purity and then being a good friend as well, and having friendships with girls, which I'm excited about as well. So yep, so there's that one. And then lastly, my daughter has the girls book, and she will be doing level 3. So it is a little bit bigger. It has all the same topics that level 2 has, but it goes even further and deeper into them. Especially, let's see, the battle for your soul, I think, is a chapter that's not in the other one. So talking about your relationship with the Lord, and even like your feelings, and how feelings are okay, but you don't let them rule you, things like that. And then talking about building good habits. In this level, they have a section that says, do you have a question? You can write it down here. That way it's a little less overwhelming and less awkward. In this level, it does talk about dating and relationships. So instead of just being a good friend, it talks about, okay, what happens when you are interested in someone or they're interested in you? How do we handle that? So, all right, I have a little freebie for you. There's a link in the description for a summer bucket list printable. I've used these with the kids the last several years, and I love sharing this with you guys. So if you've gotten this before, you can grab it again, or if you haven't had it before, you can grab it for the first time. So on here, I pass these out to all the kids, and they can write like goals, setting goals for the summer, things they want to eat. Like, hey, we definitely want to have homemade ice cream this summer, or we definitely want to have, you know, s'mores over the fire, which we've already done, so we can check that off. What do they want to watch? Is there a show or a movie? Like we've talked about going to the theater to see the new How to Train Your Dragon movie, so we'd probably put that down there. Skills they want to learn. Is there any things they want to do, like robotics camp? Places they want to go. We've talked about that already too. Things they want to do and things they want to read. So I love this little goal sheet. Then we have a summer routines, and this is for you and for the kids. I call them anchors. So you have like morning anchors, afternoon anchors, and evening anchors. And again, this is not to say like at 2 o'clock we do this, or at 8 a.m. we do this. It's not that. It's more of like in the morning we do this, in the afternoon, you know, and you get my gist. So, and then I have a little spot here for like maybe some chores or we call them jobs in our house, but what are some things they need to do in the mornings or afternoons or evenings? I found that having afternoon chores is not very helpful. Nobody wants to do work in the afternoon. So here's my little sample. Yeah, I have like morning chores are brush teeth, brush hair, wash face, speaking of hygiene, get dressed, make bed. So even though it's summer, I still like them to do that. Not every day. Some days it's very slow. We unload the dishwasher, take out the trash, sweep and feed the dog, put away dishes, and read Bible on their own. So here I had like afternoon jobs, but we never did these. So, and then we do these though. But anyway, the things for like morning anchors, I have their morning chores and breakfast, Bible time together, journal time on Friday, which we never did before, daily chores, yard work, free play, craft, or play date. Sounds like a lot of morning anchors. That was a nice example from a few years ago, I think. So I probably would update this to say something a little different now that my kids are older. So you are welcome to grab that and the description below, and I'll send it to your email inbox so you can print it out and have that too. So thank you so much for watching today. If you haven't subscribed yet, we'd love for you to consider subscribing. Also, we have a video on the read alouds that we read this last year, as well as my curriculum plans for the next school year. I hope you guys have a great summer, and I will see you in the next one.